Hey Subaru, I'm Keith Altenhoff, and this is my 2008 Subaru Impreza Outback Sport. This is a great car. I always liked the styling of it and the shape. When you came out with the new body type, that was really appealing to me. I used to drive a Toyota Tacoma, but opted for a little bit smaller vehicle that's easier to negotiate in the city. I was having a hard time parking the Tacoma when I moved from Colorado to Seattle. Getting into the car here is generally pretty easy. I'm about 6 feet tall, so it's you kind of have to duck a little bit. I'll show you down here one thing that I don't necessarily like is getting out. Maybe you can see the little scuff marks on this side panel here. But as I get out, I open the door and my foot constantly scrapes right here. Let's see, you can maybe see a little of those scuffs. Yeah, those whitish indicators are where my foot constantly hits at, and so that's just it's a hassle to clean it. As you can probably tell, I don't clean my car every week or anything like that. It's a very functional vehicle for me. I use it mainly to commute to work. Some questions about the inside area. That little storage zone is great. I put stuff in there, sunglasses, flyers that get left in my car, whatever. Pens, pencils. Control panel here is all very easy to use. The thermostat control, temperature setting, which vents operate. Controls here on the radio are all nice, easy. What I've had to do is attach my GPS mount to this flat area here. That works well, however it does cover up some of the indicators, clock, mileage, fuel economy, those things. Not a big deal, but it's just a little adjustment. The cup holder area used for my coffee consistently every morning, daily ritual. Popping this open, you'll see that I opted for the iPod jack when I purchased the car new in April 2008. This was a great idea on paper, and I'll tell you, it's really good to have controls through the stereo. However, what I don't like is the navigation tools in here. To say in brief why it's a hassle, if I've got an artist, for instance, with a letter in the middle of the alphabet, let's say I want to listen to Neil Young, alright, so N, Neil Young. I have to click individually, artist by artist by artist, through here using these up and down navigation arrows when I have my artist selected. It's a huge pain. It can take upwards of 5 minutes on my iPod to get to a letter in the middle of the alphabet because I have about 8,000 songs. Who knows how many artists that is? That's a lot. So in a retooling of this system, I would suggest that is the iPod to the factory radio system. I would have an easier way to scroll, whether it's using a control knob like this to select the letter that you want to get to, the letter of the artist that is, just something to make it faster to get to those artists in the middle of the alphabet. Moving on from that, some other components I like about the interior of the car. Cup holders on each side. There's a wilderness trip planner that gets into my weekend activities. We'll leave that there in a second, or get back to it. You can also notice the foot scuffing on this other panel from passengers getting in and out of the car. But again, that extra storage system there is nice. One of my favorite elements, heated seats. I find the two heating options fine for me. I'm coming from someone that never really had heated seats, so any heated seat is a luxury. Controls on the steering wheel, cruise control, that's easy. The thumb navigation is perfect, don't change it. These controls over here, perfect as well. One addition that I would add is perhaps a artist by artist scrolling, maybe some more communication for somebody that uses the iPod with the factory radio. Moving to the back seat. I like that how wide this door opens. Well, the salesman, when I purchased it, showed me that, and I'd never really thought about that before. But the door opening is huge, and it makes it easy. I do a lot of backpacking, camping, stuff like that. Oftentimes for work, I've got boxes of things that I'm dealing with, and they won't fit in the back, so I throw them in the back seat. Having the door open up very wide is helpful for that. I've never really sat in the back of my car. Sitting here now, okay, so I'm a taller guy. I'm almost 6 feet, so I've got my chair, my driver's side set back properly, and I'm sitting upright in the back seat, and my knees are firmly pressed against the seat in front of me. So, as the driver, I can move up maybe one notch. That's all. Generally, though, there is a lot of spacious area back here. Anything there? No, nothing there. I also noticed, though, that there are cup holders in the back here on this side, little trays. I think that's a great feature for passengers. That's really nice. And I do know that the seats, bringing them down, very easily done with these knobs. Pull up, pull down. Very simple. The pocket back here, I usually have maps in there, my maps of Washington or National Atlas. Why is there no pocket here? I don't know. It only makes sense. If one side has a pocket, the other side should too. I've oftentimes wanted to store more things. I think a second pocket would be great. Moving to the trunk area. This is my largest mess of the entire vehicle. This is my throw it all in. Store it. A blanket for going to the park. I've been going to the park and doing some work there lately, just the various city parks around Seattle. So I've got that to throw on the grass. I've got just various gloves, some covers, some trash bags, some cleaning rags for whenever I wash the car, which, as you can probably tell, has not been in several weeks. Volleyball. Love a little beach volleyball. That's super fun. Of course, it's no longer beach volleyball weather in Seattle. I think the back area here is spacious enough. I wouldn't see anything that needs to be done differently. Underneath here, I do like the storage area for the spare tire and so on. I think that is hidden very well. What else do we have? On the top, car rack system. I pulled mine off. Again, the Outback Sport, as you know, comes with the rack system standard, but I can't remember how it opens. I remember taking them off, though. It was very simple, and so I'm sure it would just be a matter of looking at the owner's manual or prodding it without a camera in my hand would be simple. But I took both the racks off. I wasn't using them. I wasn't doing as much cycling as I had been before, and as well, any snowboarding I was doing was typically with one other person. So I would just throw the snowboards in the trunk area, fold one seat down, throw the boards in. We were fine. No problems there. Let's see. Another thing about my weekends or free time that I mentioned earlier, backpacking, this little trail map thing from Olympic National Park. I love backpacking. I love hiking, getting outside. As I mentioned before, I snowboard in the winter. Seattle as well is a very wet climate. I opted for the rubber floor mats, and I think that the rubber floor mats, why not come with these things standard? Why not give them an option, or excuse me, not as an option, but as a standard thing? Throw them in there. I think so many people would benefit from these. It has kept a lot of grime and muck out of the car, or at least made them easy just to spray off with a hose. So I really like these. It just, do they really need to be $80? I guess. I think that's how much I paid for them. What else? Weekend activities. Typically, lately, in the last month or so, my car has been parked much like how you see it at work or in my street, on my street, that is. So I haven't really utilized it in the last month, with the exception of about 5 weeks ago. I took a great trip out to the Olympic Peninsula and even drove this thing on the hard-packed sand. It was great. Yeah, so I drove out on the beach with this great car. It was a lot of fun. Other than that, in terms of snow, driving snowboarding, this thing has been phenomenal. We had a huge snowstorm in December of 2008, which dumped, boy, how much did it dump? A lot. Seattle doesn't really get snow that much, and we got pounded. And this car never got stuck. Cars were stuck all over the city. There's a lot of hills in Seattle, snowy hills, no problem at all. You would think cities would snowplow, however, Seattle has about 7 snowplows and sanders for the entire city, so in many places it was driving over snowy roads, untouched, never been plowed, and this car got through it all excellently. Great vehicle. So, in closure, yeah, I'm Keith Altenhoff, and that is my Subaru Impreza Outback Sport.